Ho, hold up. Didn't I already make a video about this update? Why, yes I did. But in that video, I was actually using a preview of Cobblemon 1.6, and since then, the Record and Catch update has officially released, with even more features than what I covered previously, and some very important details I missed. Also, since people are always asking what other mods I use to make my Cobblemon look so dang beautiful, for this video I decided to use the easy-to-download Cobblemon mod pack you can find on the Modrinth app. And as always, links are in the description. So let's have a look at everything new in the Cobblemon 1.6 update, and if you guys are excited, don't forget to smash that like button. First and possibly most important to mention is that this version of Cobblemon is running on Minecraft 1.21.1, also known as the Tricky Trials update. And of course, Cobblemon have added some things that take advantage of it, but first I want to go over the features for which the Record and Catch update is named after, starting with the Pokédex. In my preview video, I showed off how to craft the Pokédex and how to navigate the basic menu, but I had no idea you could also scan with it. So just in case you were as clueless as I was, all you have to do is hold down right click to enter scan mode, and then hold the circle over a Pokemon until it registers in the Dex. Looks pretty simple, right? Well, thankfully crafting the Pokédex is also pretty simple, just requiring some basic ingots, apricorns, and any one of these glowing items. Also, depending on which color apricorn you choose, you'll be able to make a different colored Pokédex, which even changes the actual UI. As you can see, just from scanning a Pokemon, you'll be able to hear its cry and look at the different animations like walking or sleeping. But to get the full Dex entry, you'll of course need to catch it. Then you'll be able to see more fun little details like its size and even what items it can drop when defeated. It might not look all that crazy on video, but there's something just so satisfying about using the Cobblemon Pokédex, maybe something to do with the sound effects, because this is somehow the most fun I've ever had just registering Pokemon. The only thing I wish they added is which biomes you can find the Pokemon in, but who knows, maybe that's coming in a future update. Finally, I wanted to mention that you can also zoom in with the Dex by using the mouse scroll wheel, letting you register Pokemon from far away. And I believe that should finally cover everything to know about the Dex, but of course it's only half of what makes this the Record and Catch update. So let's move on to Pokerods. Much like the Dex, I showed this new item off in my preview, but didn't fully explain the mechanics of how it works. So first, let's recap how to get one, because it's not as simple as just crafting. You'll need to find a fishing boat, which is a new type of structure in Cobblemon that spawns near beaches, underwater, or sometimes just randomly in the world. I don't know, I found one like in a forest. So anyway, once you manage to find one, look in the chest to find a Pokerod smithing template. By using this item at a smithing table along with a regular Minecraft fishing rod and any type of Pokeball, you'll be able to craft a Pokerod. But be warned, this is purely cosmetic, meaning the type of Pokeball you use doesn't actually affect what Pokemon you can fish up or their stats. Instead, we have two other items that can affect your outcome. First being berries, or in this case referred to as bait. I believe every single type of berry in Cobblemon can be attached to your Pokerod, and to do this you have to right click it while holding the berry or stack of berries. And once attached to your rod, you actually can't even tell, at least in the little icon, or when you're holding it in your hand. The only way to see if a berry is attached is when you actually cast the rod. Now literally every single berry has a different effect, and there's just way too many of them for me to go through in this video, but I want to at least highlight the two that I think will be the most useful. Starf berries, which are these green little guys with the whole rainbow of dots, will add an extra shiny roll to your encounter, essentially doubling the odds that you can fish up a shiny Pokemon. But despite this, I couldn't find a single one because I have zero shiny luck. And then there's the Enigma berries, which will raise the chance a Pokemon you fish can have its hidden ability by 5%. Not really that high of a raise, but definitely better than 0%. Actually, there's one more group of berries worth mentioning, and it's these on screen right now, with citrus being by far the best, as it makes fish latch onto your hook way faster. But like I mentioned, there's one other way to improve your fishing experience, and that is enchantments. As of this update, there are just two enchantments that affect Cobblemon fishing. The Lure enchantment will make it so it takes less time for a fish to yank on your rod, and the Luck of the Sea enchantment will increase the chances of rarer Pokemon appearing. You can even stack them both to make the ultimate Pokerod and still have absolutely no luck finding anything but Bidoof. Finally, I should mention that you can also fish up items, like the ones necessary to evolve certain kinds of water Pokemon, and the chances of getting these increase with the Luck of the Sea enchantment. But with that, I can finally retire from Poke fishing, because just like in real life, I have absolutely no patience for it. But of course, there's still plenty more to discover in this update beyond just recording and catching. So let's move on to some of the other fun stuff you might have spotted in the trailer, like the addition of double and triple battles. This one definitely caught me the most by surprise, because I don't remember it being in the Snapshot preview I played, but they're here now and fully functional just like in the official games. Of course, they are limited to multiplayer for now since NPCs haven't been fully implemented yet, but it seems like those will be coming soon because there's already a very primitive version of them in the game that you can spawn using commands. I was only able to get these NPCs to do single battles with me though, so in order to show off double and triple battles, I hopped on a server with my wife. And in case you missed it, we actually started a series where I'm showing her Cobblemon for the first time, so maybe something to check out after this video. But all you have to do is press R on another trainer to request a battle or trade with them. And from there you can choose if you want single, double, triple battle format. And another new option in this update is that you can set all the Pokemon's levels to 5, 50, or even 100. There's even a neat little icon above the other player's head when they have a battle request or a trade request, because even though trades were added back in the 1.4 update, this time around they've added a new animation for them along with some really cool sound effects. And believe me, that is far from the only new animation in this update. You might have already seen it, but my favorite animation in all of Cobblemon so far might just be the one for evolutions. Of course, they've updated the animations and models for a bunch of Pokemon, most of which I covered in the previous video, and a bunch more you can spot in the 1.6 trailer. I'm not going to go over every single one, but I did notice a few comments about Venusaur's model specifically, and I kind of agree, his triangle head looks a bit off to me, but the model overall is still miles better than the previous version. They also added a bunch of new attack animations, which again I covered in the preview, but I have to highlight the one for Seismic Toss again because it is just hilarious. Whoa, wait, yo, where did you? Oh my god. This update also drastically improves the animations and sound effects for shiny Pokemon, making them basically like in Legends Arceus where you can hear it when they first pop up, but also when a shiny Pokemon is nearby, you'll hear this constant sparkling sound that gets louder as you get closer, so you know to keep looking around for it. And finally, while not exactly an animation, they seem to have improved the way Pokemon get sent out to battle. And when battling in water, Pokemon that don't swim now have a neat little raft to stand on. No doubt inspired by the ones found in Legends Arceus and Scarlet and Violet. Oh, and flying Pokemon just fly above the water, which is also pretty cool, because I guess before they would just drown. Moving on, we have to talk about some of the new structures added. I already mentioned the fishing boats, but those are just small fry compared to the shipwreck coves they can lead to. And I mean that literally, because in those fishing boats, you can also find a map that'll lead you to one of these massive new structures that tie into Minecraft's Tricky Trials update. I'm honestly not too knowledgeable with the whole trials thing, like I really don't play vanilla Minecraft all that often. But seeing the chaos that unfolds during the trailer kinda makes me wish Pokemon could help you out in the combat against Minecraft mobs, just to make this all feel a little more connected to Cobblemon itself. But again, that might be coming in a future update. Either way, the other new structures introduced are a lot more Cobblemon oriented. First being the Stonjourner Henge Ruins. The basic one you see here, complete with a Gimmighoul chest in the center and lots of suspicious gravel to dig up for different treasures. And then the two variations are themed around the sun and moon, with each having that respective evolutionary stone in the center, but also a Gimmighoul chest hiding underneath. And to wrap it up, we have perhaps the best structure added to Cobblemon yet. That's right, Pokémon Centers are officially in Cobblemon. And like with so many other features and structures in this mod, they found a way to perfectly integrate these with the already existing villages in Minecraft, with one Pokémon Center for each type of village, and all of them looking like they belong there all along. But of course, no Pokémon Centers complete without their very own Nurse Joy. Inside these Pokemon Centers, you'll also find a naturally spawning type of healing machine that function pretty much exactly the same as any other, but these can't be picked up, and when you try to break them, they'll just drop some iron ingots. I'm assuming this is just to prevent people from stealing Villager Joy's healing machines and, taking it to their base. There are so many more smaller additions and quality of life improvements in this update, which as always you can find the full list for in the description. But one of these smaller updates I wanted to mention is the addition of storage blocks for evolutionary stones. While out exploring in Cobblemon, I'm sure I'm not the only one that's picked up way more evolutionary stones than you'll ever need. And now you can turn those into beautiful blocks to decorate your home or just look at, because I mean, they look pretty nice. But before wrapping up this video, I wanted to give major props to the team that put together the official trailer for this update, because my god, they absolutely killed it. All the little Easter eggs and hidden details, like they clearly put a lot of thought into every single scene, and they even ended it with some sneak peeks at features potentially coming in future Cobblemon updates. So let's wrap this video up with a little trailer breakdown. First, we have this character pulling what looks like a music disc out of an enchanting table and placing it in a jukebox. Coupled with Chatot being here, a very musical Pokemon, makes me think this is a hint that Cobblemon's going to be adding their own custom music. Unless this is already a song in Minecraft, but I'm not too familiar with the vanilla music, so if you recognize it, let me know in the comments. The next hint is a lot more obvious, as we see a trainer plopping down Pokemon eggs next to the pasture block. There's already a side mod that adds breeding through the use of the pasture block, and I think Cobblemon does sometimes take inspo from fan add-ons, so the pasture block doubling as a way to put breeding into the game just makes sense. Similarly, this next scene paints a pretty clear hint to me, as this character takes the saddle off their horse and sends out Corviknight, a Pokemon well known for helping trainers get around the region. But before putting the saddle on, it cuts to the next scene. I guess they don't want to make it too obvious, but I'm about 99% sure this is a hint that rideable Pokemon are finally coming. The next one is perhaps the most cryptic of all, but my brain keeps coming back to TMs. One, because it's one of the few mainline Pokemon features not yet in Cobblemon, and two, because it kind of looks like the scientist is holding a disc, which, you know, TMs are discs. Also, the sound effect you hear and the fact he's holding a rock gem makes it look like this dude just taught Boldor a new rock type move. But finally, we have Chuck Norris chuck in random ingredients into a cooking pot, which immediately made me think of the curry cooking from Sword and Shield. The overhead angle seen in the trailer also makes it look like this cooking mechanic could also have similar effects to the curry or even the sandwiches from Scarlet and Violet that could make certain types of Pokemon more likely to appear. I mean, there was a whole variety of effects that the cooking could have, so I'm curious which ones they'll implement in Cobblemon. Of course, none of these features are confirmed, but I'd like to think I have a bit of experience when it comes to Pokemon, so I'm fairly certain on these predictions, but let me know if you guys think any different. And of course, let me know what you think of Cobblemon 1.6. What is your favorite feature introduced in this update, and are there any more you'd like to see in future ones? Thank you so much for watching all the way through, and in case I don't see you again this year, thank you so much for making 2024 one of the best years yet, and I'll catch you in the next one.